Look, it's not ever easy to tell somebody you really like, that you really care about, that you're pretty tight with, that they're blowing it. But I've always said this, and I want to say it one more time. I want the people close to me to tell me what I need to hear. Not what they think I want to hear, but what I actually need to hear. Something that's going to make me better. I always want people to shoot me straight, be honest with me. So in that spirit, I'm going to be honest with and shoot Notre Dame straight. Now again, you know you're one of my favorite programs ever. I want to acknowledge how good you've been for this program over the years. I have famously said over and over again, I don't know that we have ever had a bad interview with anybody from Notre Dame. I mean, it's almost uncanny. I mean, for years and dozens and dozens and dozens of interviews, these guys all show up great. That's why the Jungle is a huge Notre Dame house, which is why, as a good friend, you're a good friend of ours. We consider you a very good friend. I've got to step up and do what good friends do. Pull aside their guy and let them know how it is. And what I'm here to tell you, Notre Dame, is y'all need to chill the hell out. Just stop. Stop. Stop complaining. Stop whining. Stop making arguments that make no sense. Stop canceling book events on campus because the author was on the selection committee, and then rescheduling said event like 10 minutes later because the internet set you on fire for canceling it in the first place. Just chill out already. We get it. You think you got jammed. We get it. You're entitled to your point of view that if you think you got wronged, you think that it gives you the right to just spew absolute over-the-top nonsense. I mean, you can if you want. I'm just here to tell you, it's a terrible look. And it's wrong. And it's getting worse all the time. You're making it so much worse. Notre Dame is handling this snub so poorly, they're making Florida State look like they took it all in stride a couple of years back. And by the way, what happened to FSU was way more egregious than what just happened to Notre Dame. Speaking of egregious, great word. I'm a word guy. I love words. Egregious, great word. And the exact word that Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark used to describe the behavior of Notre Dame AD Pete Pavakwa this week. Now, why the Big 12 Commissioner feels so strongly about Notre Dame that he's taking wild swings at them for them taking wild swings at the ACC, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just principle, or maybe he's just like a lot of other people and just had enough of Notre Dame acting out. But he made it very clear they are way out of line, and their act is getting very tired.
I will say this, and I'm a little outspoken about it. I don't like how Notre Dame's reacted to it.
So
okay, I think Pete's his behavior has been egregious. It's been egregious going after Jim Phillips when they saved Notre Dame during COVID. We all knew, and it was very transparent. Hunter was very transparent about it, the chair, that as Notre Dame and Miami got closer together, head-to-head would be a factor. Okay, BYU lost. They became closer together, head-to-head, and made a difference in that decision. So I think he is totally out of bounds in his approach, and if he was in the room, I'd tell him the same thing.
There you go. Hey, look, you can't act shocked that the dumb, hey, that's a really well-respected guy too, by the way, and a very powerful guy. And he's saying, they're out of line, that's egregious, and if he were here in the room, I would tell him the same thing. My guy, you don't need to worry about that. Anytime you say anything, you're in the same room. Let me repeat that. Anytime you say anything in public, you are in the same room. What, they're not going to see that? You're in the same room. Oh, the world's a room. Anyway, you can't act shocked that the dumb committee rankings along the way did not wind up meaning anything in the end. That's part of Notre Dame's argument. You can't be shocked by that because they never have. This is not breaking news. From the very first Monday Night Ranking show, it was clear that it was just a show. That's what they're there for. It's content. It's a show. That committee has always done whatever the hell they wanted to do in the final rankings, and nothing that they did on their show prior to it mattered at all. So acting like this is some sort of shocking travesty, it's just not a good argument. I'm sorry to say it, Notre Dame. It's a bad argument. And how do you not know better? How do you not know that that's all that is? A show. A show that's there to get people to watch and react and talk. You know, the Hot Take Network. That said, I'm not as bothered by Bavacqua going at the ACC as I am about his absurd take on the Notre Dame 10-game win streak. Now, if you want something really egregious, you want to use the word egregious to describe something egregious. This take that Notre Dame's last 10 games were one of the best 10-game winning streaks ever strung together. Now, that is egregious.
We lost against a really good Miami team. We lost a nail-biter against Texas A&M, two great teams by a total of 4 points, and then we did everything we needed to do. We had one of the most dominant 10 games runs in the history of college football. And on top of that, we felt that the CFP committee, the ranking committee, felt the same way.
What's the word I'm looking for? Evidently, the committee did not feel the same way. He said, hey, we felt that the committee felt the same way. Apparently, the committee did not feel the same way. And I hate to break it to you, but nobody else feels that way either. Nobody outside of South Bend thinks that that was anywhere near the most dominant 10-game run in college football history. I'm thinking most people in South Bend even know that. The statement is so blatantly inaccurate that it actually pretty much kills any argument that Notre Dame thought they had. Because the reality is, Notre Dame didn't even have the most dominant 10-game stretch for a football team based in the state of Indiana this season. Never mind one of the most dominant stretches ever. It wasn't even the most dominant stretch of college football in the state of Indiana this year. Here are the 10 games that Notre Dame's AD is trying to claim make up one of the most dominant stretches in college football history. Here's who they beat. Purdue, 2-10. Arkansas, 2-10. Boise State, 9-4. NC State, 7-5. USC, 9-3. It's a good win. BC, 2-10. Navy, 9-2. Pitt, 8-4. Syracuse, 3-9. Not a good win. Stanford, 4-8. Not a good win. And again, the list, just look at the list. Purdue, 2 wins. Arkansas, 2 wins. BC, 2 wins. Syracuse, 3 wins. Stanford, 4 wins. How are you going to argue that that's one of the greatest 10-game stretches ever? I'll take it a step further. No playoff teams on that list. Only one team on that list is in the current CFP top 25. Half the teams on that list have 4 or fewer wins. This is the run of games that Notre Dame is trying to position as among the best 10-game stretches in college football history. My dude, how did you say that with a straight face? I mean, why don't we look at recent history? Ignore the fact that, for instance, Michigan went 15-0 2 years ago. Well, ignore that because they cheated. That aside, fine. And they did cheat. As Pat Kraft told his Penn State players, they cheated. Oh, they did. They did. He's on tape saying it. That's not even me. I mean, I agree. They did cheat. Kraft said it. The Oregon quarterback was scared in overtime and Michigan cheated. Go listen to the audio. It's on the internet. But put that aside. Fine. How about 15-0 Georgia? Did they cheat the year before? No. How about Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase? and Justin Jefferson and LSU. I seem to remember them beating Florida, Mississippi State, Auburn, Bama, Ole Miss, Arkansas, A&M, Georgia, Oklahoma, Clemson, all in a row and by an average of 22 points per game. Now that's a dominant streak. 3 touchdown wins against those 10 teams on average. That's a dominant streak. A hell of a lot more dominant than anything Notre Dame did this season. It's for damn sure. Notre Dame had a nice year. Notre Dame had some nice wins. Just not enough to get in. Accept it. It's a good reminder that as solid as Notre Dame was, they weren't great, which is probably why nobody outside of Notre Dame thinks that this is the travesty and disgrace that they're not in that they seem to think. It's also why I'm just telling you as a friend. I'm not mad. I'm doing what any good friend would do. You're a good friend of the program. We appreciate you, Notre Dame. We will always appreciate you. We always want you to be a part of the program. But as a good friend, I'm going to tell you one more time, y'all need to chill the hell out. You know why? It happens. It happens to us all. Ask El Tigre. That's the problem.
Happens to us all.
It's kind of like LeBron and El Tigre. You think that it will happen to everybody else, but not you. But actually, that's the one thing I agree with El Tigre.
Happens to us all.
It happens to us all.
Yeah, it happens.
It does happen.
Happens to us all.
It happens to us all.
Yeah, it happens.
Now, we might disagree on what he's talking about and what happens, but it does.
Yeah, it happens.
And it happened to you, Notre Dame.
Happens to us all.
I know you think that it's not supposed to happen to you, but it just did. So clearly it can. And the easiest way to make sure this never happens ever again is to, I don't know, join a conference, which you will never do either. Fine. I'm not even saying you have to do that. Fine. But quit complaining already. You are so much better than this. At least I've always believed that you were so much better than this. I still think you're better than this. I know you're better than this. Own that you lost those 2 games to start the year. We're not that concerned about how close they were or who they were against. You lost those games. You start faster. You don't lose those games. We're not having this conversation. Stop acting like the committee owed you anything, because the committee is not there to act in your best interests. The committee is there to act in their own best interests, which it did and it always will do. And it would be in your best interest to just turn the page. Shut it down. Stop crying. Stop whining about not getting your way. I don't hear anybody else crying. How about this? Do you hear anybody else crying about being snubbed or jammed or wronged? Nobody. Nobody except you. So instead of telling you what you want to hear, I just told you what you need to hear. As a friend, man, give it a rest. Give it a rest. It's petty, it's obnoxious, it's annoying. You're better than that, Notre Dame. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to make a legitimate argument, try and do that, but stop taking wild swings and saying things that aren't true. One, that hurt. That hurt me. I hated to do that, but it had to be done. Man, going in on the committee, going in on the ACC, going in on anybody and everything, canceling book meetups with a writer who everybody loves. I mean, it's bad, man. The optics are terrible. You got to be above that.